Every great empire has five stages: the age of the pioneers, the age of commerce, the age of affluence, the age of intellect, and finally, the age of decadence. If we consider social media as a great empire, it certainly had a fair share of pioneers in the form of the Zuckerbergs and Larrys of the world. It did commercialize its ventures as it entered the age of commerce. As big tech sat atop a pile of wealth, it was in the age of affluence. Social media became the go-to place for news and views as it got molded into a platform of intellect. And now, it is in its final stage, the age of decadence. It is corrupt, it practices mind control, curbs free speech, and influences democratic processes. After decadence comes a vast nothingness, and social media giants may have already begun the long march towards oblivion. As more and more governments across the world tighten their screws, social media's influence is on the decline, and the latest to join the list of countries to clip the wings of social media is the United Kingdom. Hi and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I am your host Rohan Sachdeva, and in this video, we'll discuss the UK's new social media laws and why it is a massive setback for social media giants. Let's begin. The United Kingdom, under the leadership of Boris Johnson, could give a severe jolt to big tech. On Wednesday, Britain disclosed that a new social media law would impose hefty fines of up to 10% of the total turnover, or $25 million against social media companies which fail to weed out online abuse such as racist hate crimes. Not just fines, the bill also proposes criminal action against senior managers of such companies. The Johnson government said that the Online Safety Bill, as the proposed law is called, also seeks to protect the right to freedom of speech and expression, apart from facilitating democratic political debate and the protection of journalistic content. The bill ought to be seen in light of the worldwide outrage against big tech censorship of former US President Donald Trump. Democratic countries the world over have since grown wary of big tech's tendency to formulate their own norms regardless of domestic laws. British Interior Minister Priti Patel said, "It's time for tech companies to be held accountable and to protect the people from harm. If they fail to do so, they will face penalties." Within the United Kingdom, tech firms have been criticized for doing too little to curb online abuse. Last month, soccer clubs and other sports organizations boycotted big tech in a bid to highlight the emerging problem. With the new Online Safety Bill, a legal burden or duty to take care will be imposed on social media companies to promptly clamp down on illegal content. Objectionable content like hate crimes, harassment, and online threats to other individuals will have to be taken down immediately. A legal mandate is thus being created in the UK, compelling social media giants to protect online users in the country. In case terrorist material, suicide material, and child sexual abuse are uploaded on their platforms, the social media companies will be required to remove and limit its spread, apart from reaching out to the authorities. Failure to comply will not only entail penalties and fines, but also a possibility of the block of access to the erring websites. Regulator Ofcom has been empowered to block access to such websites. The British government stated the draft bill contains reserved powers of Ofcom to pursue criminal action against named senior managers whose companies do not comply with Ofcom's requests for information. It added, these will be introduced if tech companies fail to live up to their new responsibilities. The Online Safety Bill is also going to legally compel social media companies into protecting free speech. The companies will be required to reinstate unfairly removed material. This is specifically aimed at curbing the political biases of social media companies. In fact, social media platforms are barred from discriminating against specific political viewpoints. The government added that Ofcom will also hold such companies accountable for the arbitrary removal of journalistic content. The UK has a clear message for big tech. There is no place for bias, prejudice, and arbitrariness in a democratic society. Johnson's UK is thus cutting the big tech monopoly to size. If social media companies have to operate in Britain, they will have to follow British law, or else the UK government will have no qualms in banishing them.